Hey, welcome to a review of Ready to Love Season 3. This season is kicking off in Houston, Texas, opposed to Atlanta, Georgia, like they've done the other two seasons. And I know y'all probably thinking, the other two seasons, girl, what you know about the other two seasons? I am a fan of the show. I've watched every season prior up to this. I'm just now getting into reviewing, putting my input in it with you guys. So be sure to check out my reviews of the season. So, like I was saying, Nephew Tommy kicked it off in Houston, Texas. And what is interesting about this season is that the couples are now staying in a resort all together. So, immediately what comes to my mind is that it's going to be a whole lot of hookups and a lot more drama because you cannot finesse with all your hoes under one roof. You guys, it is super, super, super cold outside, and the wind is blowing so hard that it's literally blowing shit around. That sounded crazy. We had thunder earlier, so if y'all see me looking kind of frazzled, like what's wrong? The weather, Mother Nature. Okay. All right, so I have notes, and let's just get right on into it. I'm going to be breaking down the episode as it happened. I was ferociously making these notes for you guys. Okay. So, first up, coming off the boat, we have Calfani, who is a personal trainer. And he gives me player vibes. And I'm not saying he gives me player vibes because he's a personal trainer, but just because when Joy had came, which Joy was the first woman who showed up, he was giving her his undivided attention. But as soon as another lady who I will get into came, he just, he just locked in with the next one. So, also, I don't know. Maybe just intuition that gives me that Calfani may, be a player. I hope I'm wrong though, because this is Ready to Love. So speaking of Joy, Joy is beautiful. She has this big hair that you cannot miss. Okay, a natural sister I love, and even if it ain't, it looks good, girl. So it makes her stand out because she doesn't have the, the straight hair or the wig or the weaves or the natural hair. Edwin is a chef, okay, and Edwin is an older dude, as they all are, but he has the sprinkled gray beard, let you know he's seasoned and comfortable in it, and I like that. I could appreciate that. And Denise comes, and Denise is a track and field coach, okay. She said that she big, everything big. She's 5'10", her mouth 5'10", her everything about her is 5'10", and I said, okay, Denise, we see you. David is from Texas. He is the country boy I have written down in my notes because David has this long, drawn out, and I'm not, when I say Texas, I ain't even talking about Houston. I'm talking about, you gotta go deep. Like, you gotta be from Texas to know where David's from because he's just really country. Winter has this short haircut and this orange dress that I thought was really beautiful. She was one of the ones that had caught Calfani's attention when she stepped off the boat. Alicia with the body is what I got on my notes because Alicia is packing in every department, baby, okay? And she has a really big personality. Maybe I'll get into that later. Right now I'm just trying to introduce the characters, but no, I'm gonna say it. So Alicia is the one who said, she was talking a good game that to me I felt like might have been a little bit too much too soon. She got a big personality. She don't hold back, okay? She said she's tired of the WID text, and I felt her on that. That what you doing text. She said the same thing I was doing the last time you text me, okay? Stop sending me what you doing text, okay? I need a little bit more substance. And I said, you know what, girl, you better let him know. Chris is the radio personality, okay? Now Chris shows up in this fuchsia pantsuit, okay? And if the color wasn't bright enough, Chris doesn't have a shirt on underneath this why I say sweatsuit, tuxedo, I should say. It's a tuxedo, it's a pant set, a blazer, and some slacks, okay? Very loud, you know what? And I loved it. You don't see men wear pink often, so it definitely made him stand out. But that 8-pack, I was gonna insult him by saying 6-pack, but it might have been an 8-pack, was also very noticeable, I should say. He had it all greased up and stuff. And he is a radio personality, okay? He's a radio personality. You know, he's putting it on for the ladies every night, but he's still out here single, and he's ready to love. Simone is the attorney. Okay, now Simone is the attorney. So Simone leads with her career, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Adriana is 31. I put in my notes with the fat weave, and I don't mean to be shady, but Adriana, anytime that you, so I'm just going to tell y'all what she said. So Adriana gets off the boat, and a lot of the men's heads were turning, yes. But she said that she also noticed that some of the women's heads were turning too, and she thinks it's because she's the youngest one there. Shade, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Older women are definitely threatened by younger women, especially when you're in an atmosphere where you're ready to love, you're looking for love, and there's a bunch of fine men around, right? I just didn't think it was necessary to say. That's all. You know, they probably was talking about your fat weave. It was really big at the top. And one thing about men is that they don't pay attention to details as us women do. So you in the clear, you know. But I was just like, humble yourself, girl. Sis, you the youngest one here, maybe by a couple years, because we have Alex. And you know, Alex is celibate, and she's been celibate for 2 years. And it's crazy that she went in leading with that, because she's going to be known as the celibate one for me, at least for these reviews. When we talking, Alex is the one who's celibate. That's, you know, that's just where we at with it. All right, so that's not everyone. It is 20 singles, but we got to get into the review and let you know what happened. Okay, so 2 people are going home, okay, and that night. But the goal for the show is 3 couples. They are looking for 6 people, 6 singles to find love. All right? So it should be possible with 20 people, but who knows, like I said, because they living on the resort this time. So, you know, like Alicia said, it might be some entanglements going on. All right? Danny is the single mom with the banging green dress, is what I wrote down in my notes. She has a daughter who's in her 20s now that she raised on her own, and there's a lot of hurt there. And just when she was hurt by, I'm assuming it was the daughter's father, she really just put all her time and effort into her child after that and did not make time for herself. And so I'm really hoping that Danny finds love. Brian is handsome. He used to play football. Rashid is and Denise. So I haven't told you guys about Rashid. Rashid, you know, gives me, to be honest with you, just a skinnier, taller Uncle Tommy. You know, he got the glasses, the bald head, the light, high yellow skin, you know, the slacks with no socks. You know, I peeped that. I don't know if that's a young girl thing in me, but I noticed when men wear, well, I guess who couldn't notice it because you just see an ankle. Okay, let's move on. So my note says, Rashid and Denise go for a toast. Denise has a bug in her champagne, right? So she's like, oh, can you drink that? Like, and Rashid makes a joke along the lines of like, oh, little bug, you know, the alcohol killed a bug. You be all right. Just joking. And she goes, oh, no, I'm definitely not drinking champagne with a bug in it. So she goes to go get a new cup of champagne, glass, I should say. So she's pretty much upset with Rashid because she felt like, okay, you should have went and got my, you know, you should have went to go get my refill. You trying to holler at me, you know, you see I'm struggling, you know, should have helped us out and got me a new glass of champagne. Okay. She also says that Rashid is cocky, and I guess she got that sentiment from him because they're having a conversation when he begins to ask her about herself, and she says, hey, you know, I'm a track and field coach. And he's like, oh, you played for HBCU? And then I guess they're, you know, colleges have had games together, so they have this little playful banter, at least I thought it was, just kind of like, oh, I beat your team in this, and she's like, oh, I beat your girls, I'm sure. And then, you know, just like, you know, just kind of competitive. They're freaking athletes are competitive, so just a competitive banter about being competitive is what I took it as. Okay, but she says, you know, after that conversation that Rashid is cocky, but let me call a spade a spade. I know y'all don't, some of y'all are just coming for the review of the show that y'all love. And one thing y'all gonna learn about me, because it's only episode 1, we're gonna call a spade, okay? Denise just had a stink attitude. She just had a stink attitude with him. Because Rashid had offered to get her another glass of champagne, right? And when he comes back to give her her glass, she's completely ignoring him as he's trying to pass, the glass to her, and she grabs it and she goes, "Oh, I got it," like, now be gone, And it was kind of like, okay, hold on, sis. You said that you had, you wasn't feeling him for offering to go refill your champagne when you found a bug in it. And I kind of get that. It's kind of like the dude at the gas station that's trying to holler at you while you pump your gas, and it's kind of like, oh, well, I'm this fine and stuff. You want to pump my gas for me, So I was with her, but when you still had an attitude after Rashid had went to go get your champagne, it was just kind of like, I felt at that point you just had a stink ass attitude. That's just what it is. Okay, moving right along. Nia says she allows a man to pursue her while talking to Chris. And Nia, I haven't introduced you guys to her. She has a shortcut. Nia, Nia's cool. Nia's cool. So she was talking to Chris with the pink fuchsia, chocolate daddy. She was talking to radio personality. And I like that she's old school. When she mentioned that she sits back and she lets a man pursue her, I said, "You're right on, sister." She said she's raised to be a wife and a mother. And I said, okay, you better lay it on. You better read your resume. Okay. Saying you checking the points. I felt like she was being genuine in what she was saying, and I felt that, but I also felt like that was exactly what she needed to be saying to, future prospects in this situation. Okay. This is a competition, but baby, I ain't chasing you. I'm the prize. Okay. All right, so Simone talks about her career and degrees is what I got in my notes. So Simone, it is going around speaking to everyone as you should. You should be reading your room. You should be, trying to get to know everybody because that's what you're there for. And, she's giving the 3rd degree. And it's like, baby, you're not at work, honey. You are drilling these dudes with these questions. And what I did not like about Simone's questions was this. The first 2 dudes that she asked, hey, you got a passport, what you do for a living, blah blah blah. Cool. Okay, you want a provider, that's fine. I'm not knocking that. But when you ask the same questions to every man, it's like, to me, it's very generic. It's not genuine. It's, your conversation is whack. It's just kind of like, girl. And then I don't like when women lead when dating with their education or their careers. Those are no-nos in my book. It just comes off very masculine. Like, leave the attorney back where you came from. Okay, you are here ready for love. Your education status don't matter. Okay. Adriana ghosted Rashid. So Adriana is the youngin with the fat weave. Okay, I'm really not gonna keep doing that. This is gonna be the last episode that I talk about how fat her weave is. But Adriana, okay, she goes to Rashid, okay? And I was very interested in knowing why. She just says that he was fresh out of a marriage and she was fresh out of a relationship, and when they had that conversation, I felt like we still didn't understand really why she ghosted him. All right? Now, Sam is a younger dude. Sam is very handsome. He has this, and I'm from California, so I say hippie look when you got those holes in your ears, very, it's artistic in a way, but to me it's kind of like hippie. He's tall, and he's having these reservations about going to go speak to everybody. Everybody seems like they coupled up. He's kind of nervous, and he's by himself, and he's trying to give himself a little pep talk before he goes up and decides to speak. Okay. He says in the past that he could be distant, and just by his tone of voice, he's very mellow. Okay, he's very monotone, very mellow. He goes up to Shay. Shay is a chef, and he begins to talk to her about, he's into artistry. Sam is a father of 2 kids, but he bored Shay. Shay, bless her heart, Shay was about ready to fall asleep. And he did the same thing to Alex later on, and so I just felt really bad for Sam. I just felt like Sam, Sam needed either more time to come out his shell, and he just doesn't. It's 2 people going home tonight. Okay, you need to step it up. You got some vets in here. You got some slickums in here. that, you know, they working they magic, they talking, they laying it on thick. I'm seeing foot rubs going on. Speaking of which, let's keep it moving into these notes. I also put that Shay has a bubbly personality. Okay, Alex and Brian talk, and she brings up being celibate. So these are the notes when I told y'all earlier that Alex was going to be the celibate girl. I made sure I put these in my notes because I do not like when women or men lead with being celibate. She's actually lucky she didn't end up like I'm about to give y'all a spoiler alert to the end of the episode. She's lucky she didn't end up like old boy off of last season, who ended up going home early when he done told everybody, all the females, that he was celibate until marriage, and they voted him off the island. It was a turn off. Now, for men, it may not be the same exact way, and that's probably why you didn't come up on the chopping block, but I just don't understand why people lead with that in beginnings of conversations. You know, I understand you want to know if that's very important to somebody, but it's only day one, baby. It's only day one. They don't need to know about what you got going on with your treasure box. You know, you don't lead with that. Jay, with the hats, has 2 kids. And he's talking to Joy, and he calls her a black Barbie doll. And she's like, okay, so does that make you my kin? And I said, oh, y'all are so cute. Kalfani and Kalfani, I'm not going to butcher this woman's name. Kalfani and Denise, okay, vibe on the swing set, okay? And they get real cozy, okay? Denise is totally me. Like, if I can't put my legs on you, my feet on you, are we really even vibing right now? She opens up and she says that she was in a domestic violence relationship, and she almost lost her life, and she got emotional when she was talking about that with Kalfani, and Kalfani says that her presence speaks to you, and I said, ooh wee, it done got real. I knew right then and there when he said her presence speaks to you. I said, oh, he like him some Denise. This, you know, sometimes in the beginning of the episode you kind of see people click, you know, they just kind of click and they stick, and I was like, okay, you know, that might be something there. Raymond is a musician, okay? He plays the guitar, and with some of our favorite R&B artists like Tank and Genuine, okay? And he has 5 kids. He has 5 kids, okay? And he gets turned down by all the older ladies. As soon as he begins talking about his profession and how many kids he has, they wasn't feeling no Raymond. They were like, oh no, that's way too many kids. Anthony has these beautiful locks, okay? This chocolate skin, okay? And this chiseled, muscular build. And he's the one that was rubbing Denise's feet right off the bat. And I said, oh, he's grown. He's grown. I like that. Okay, Anthony. All right. Kalfani says that Danny has a homie vibe. And remind you, I told you I was rooting for Danny. Danny is the single mother with the banging body and the green dress. Raymond says he likes younger women. After his conversation with what's her name? Adriana. He says he likes younger women. He says that they don't judge him, and they accept him, and that bothered me. Because I felt attacked, because I was that young girl, you know. And when he said it, it was like, yeah, we do. Yeah, you're right, because we don't know any better. And if Adriana or Adrian, what's this girl name? What's her name? Adriana knows any better, then she will take notes from the older chicks and pay you dust. And I know that sounds harsh, but I've been that young girl that is okay with all them baby mamas and your kids and stuff, not really realizing what you sign up for. And when Raymond said that he likes younger women because of this reason, it just kind of triggered me, because I'm just like, I bet you do. Gonna ruin that girl's life. She ain't got no kids, and she gonna shack up with you, because never mind. Let's move on. Rashid interrupts Raymond and Adriana talking so he can just, catch up with her. He hasn't seen her since she goes to him. Okay. She says she wants 3 sons. Like I said, they kind of ice skated around why she really goes to him. All I know is that they both was fresh out of relationships. All right. It would seem to me that y'all might have had something in common. I don't know. Maybe you wasn't ready then. But hey, look at destiny now. You guys are in the same place now, looking for the same thing. So we'll see what happens with that. David did not dig. David is the country boy. He did not dig his conversation with Simone, the attorney. And I'm gonna use these references just so you guys could, we're still learning. We're still learning their names. We're still, still really new. It's 20 people. He did not dig his conversation with Simone. And let me tell you something. Simone begins to talk to David with this whack ass attempt at Spanish. It was terrible. I suffered secondhand embarrassment listening to her, and I was just like, girl, please stop. Like, you embarrassing yourself. Like, stop. All right, so that's all I have for the notes. I'm gonna tell y'all now who went home. Poor Sam. Sam went home. The ladies just felt like, Nia said at one point, she said, I will run circles around Sam. He could not keep up with me. I think he was just really too reserved, too awkward. And I really think that Sam just needed more time. And I do hope, wish for the best for him. It just wasn't enough time for him to come up out of his shell. Now, for the ladies, they sent home Danny. And I surprisingly, that hurt me. Because we only on one episode in, and I felt some kind of way about them sending Danny home, because I just felt like Danny was there for the right reasons, that she deserved love, and just because she's not on the show don't mean she doesn't get it. So Danny, if you see this video, girl, I want an update on what's going on with you, because I just felt like I'm not gonna say names, but somebody else could have went home besides Danny. All right, y'all. Well, that was the episode 1 of Ready to Love. You guys come check out episode 2, because I'm recording these back to back. I'm a little late. And thanks for watching. As always, thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe so you will be notified every time I upload. Later.